The Mouse and the Giant Cookie. On a quiet night in a tiny bakery at the corner of Maple Street, when the moonlight spilled softly through the windows and the world outside was fast asleep, something small and whiskered was very much awake. His name was Milo. Milo the Mouse. Now, Milo wasn't like other mice who were content with crumbs or leftover cheese. No, Milo had a dream, a big, round, delicious dream. He wanted to taste the giant chocolate chip cookie that the baker, Mr. Crumble, kept in the glass display every evening. It wasn't an ordinary cookie. It was the pride of the bakery, golden brown, with chunks of melting chocolate, crisp edges, and the sweet smell that could make anyone's heart melt. The townsfolk called it the King Cookie, because it was baked once a week and placed right at the center of the bakery window to attract customers. Every night, Milo would sneak out from his little mouse hole behind the flour sacks, climb onto a shelf, and sit by the window just to look at it. His tiny nose twitched, his eyes sparkled, and his whiskers quivered. "Oh, King Cookie," he'd whisper dramatically, "one day you shall be mine." But every time he tried to sneak closer, he'd remember the bakery cat, a large, grumpy orange cat named Butterscotch who guarded the place like a furry dragon. Butterscotch had a golden collar that jingled when he walked, and his favorite pastime was napping, but when he wasn't napping, he was chasing any mouse foolish enough to wander near the counters. Still, Milo wasn't one to give up easily. He began to plan. First, he studied Butterscotch's habits. He noticed that the cat always slept deeply after dinner. He'd curl up in his basket near the warm oven, snoring loudly, his tail twitching now and then. Second, he learned the bakery's layout, every shelf, every crumb, every loose board that creaked when stepped on. He even measured, in tiny mouse steps, how far it was from his hole to the cookie display. It was exactly 83 mouse steps away. 83 steps between me and my destiny, he said proudly one night, sketching a tiny map on a napkin crumb. Days passed. Then, one fateful evening, Mr. Crumble baked a special cookie, the biggest one yet. It was the bakery's anniversary, and he wanted to surprise the morning customers with something grand. He placed the enormous cookie in the display case, almost as big as a dinner plate, and wiped his hands. "Perfect," he said with satisfaction, before turning off the lights and heading home. As soon as the door clicked shut, Milo peeked from his hole. The smell was heavenly. The chocolate still gleamed, slightly melted, under the moonlight. His little heart thumped faster. "This is it," he whispered. "Tonight's the night." He looked over toward Butterscotch. The cat was snoring softly, paws twitching in a dream about chasing birds, no doubt. The coast was clear. Milo took a deep breath, puffed out his tiny chest, and began his mission. Step by step, he tiptoed across the counter. Past the sugar jars. Past the rolling pin. Past the teacups that rattled if you even looked at them too hard. He climbed up a wooden spoon propped against a bowl, then leapt onto the display counter. His paws trembled with excitement as he stood before it, the giant cookie. "Oh, sweet heavens," Milo gasped, his whiskers quivering. "You're even more beautiful up close." He sniffed the air. The scent of sugar and butter danced around him like music. He reached out one tiny paw, touched the cookie's warm edge, and sighed dreamily. "Just one bite," he said, "then maybe two." He sank his teeth into the cookie. It was crunchy, gooey, perfect. His eyes closed in bliss. "Oh, this is it. This is happiness. This is..." Jingle. Milo froze. That sound could only mean one thing. Butterscotch. The cat yawned loudly from his basket, stretching his legs. His golden collar jingled again. "What's that smell?" he muttered groggily, sniffing the air. "Chocolate." "Wait, mouse." Milo's fur stood on end. He grabbed the edge of the cookie and pulled, but it was too big to move. Panic set in. He tried to hide behind the cookie, but his tail stuck out. Butterscotch's eyes gleamed in the darkness. "Ah, there you are, little crumb thief." Milo gulped. Now, Butterscotch, let's be reasonable. There's plenty of cookie to share." Butterscotch grinned. "Oh, I don't eat cookies. I eat you." And with that, the cat pounced. Milo darted under the counter, heart pounding. Butterscotch swiped and missed, knocking over a jar of sugar that exploded into a white puff. Milo sprinted toward the shelves. The cat chased, knocking over trays and bowls. Flour rained down like snow. It was chaos. Thinking fast, Milo climbed up a tall shelf, jumped onto a hanging apron, and swung like a tiny hero. "You'll never catch me," he squeaked. Butterscotch growled, leaping up to grab him, but instead, he crashed into a pile of mixing bowls. Clang! Clatter! Crash! The whole bakery shook. A bowl rolled across the floor, bumping into the display case. The glass door popped open. Milo's eyes widened. "My cookie!" He dashed toward it, grabbed the edge, and, with all his little might, started rolling the cookie toward his hole. It wobbled like a wheel, bumping into things. The sound echoed, but Butterscotch was too dizzy to move. Almost there, Milo panted, pushing. His tiny paws ached, but he didn't stop. Finally, he reached the flour sacks and squeezed the cookie halfway into his hole. It got stuck. He pushed harder. It wouldn't budge. "Oh, come on," he grunted, shoving with all his might. "You're too big. Just like my dreams." Then, with one last heave, the cookie popped through, thunk, and rolled neatly into his cozy home. Milo fell backward, exhausted, covered in flour, his whiskers white and dusty. He lay there for a moment, panting, staring at the cookie like a victorious knight staring at his treasure. He had done it. He had stolen the giant cookie. But then, a strange feeling bubbled inside him. He looked at the cookie, so large it filled half his little home, and sighed. "Now what? It's too big for me alone." He sat up, staring at it in the dim light. The cookie looked less like treasure now and more like temptation. Slowly, Milo realized something. The chase, the danger, the planning, all of it had been thrilling. But now that he had what he wanted, it didn't feel quite right to eat it alone. He looked toward the cat's basket outside. Butterscotch was awake now, licking his paw, looking annoyed but not angry. Milo hesitated. Then, gathering his courage, he dragged a small chunk of cookie out and placed it near the basket. "Peace offering," he said softly. Butterscotch raised an eyebrow. "You're giving me a piece?" Milo nodded. "It's good. Try it." The cat sniffed it, took a nibble, and his eyes went wide. "That's actually delicious." Milo smiled shyly. "Told you." After that night, something unexpected happened. The great cookie heist turned into the beginning of an unlikely friendship. Every evening, Milo and Butterscotch would share crumbs of the giant cookie together, talking, laughing, and swapping stories. Milo would tell tales of his mouse adventures, and Butterscotch would boast about his glory days as the bakery's guardian. When the cookie finally ran out, Mr. Crumble baked a new one, and this time, he left a small piece near the corner of the floor every night. He had seen the mess that morning, the flour everywhere, the missing cookie, and the paw prints side by side. Instead of being angry, he chuckled and said, "Well, it looks like someone made a new friend last night." From then on, Milo didn't sneak around anymore. He'd sit on the counter beside Butterscotch in the evenings, sharing crumbs and watching the stars through the bakery window. He learned something that night, that sometimes, the sweetest things in life aren't what we get for ourselves, but what we share with others. Moral of the story: Happiness tastes better when shared.